Yeah, it's not at all over yet, Scott, and it's not just Georgia where the bill is signed into law. According to the nonpartisan Brennan Center for Justice, 47 states now are considering what the center calls restrictive voting laws. 49 bills under consideration in Texas alone, where Governor Greg Abbott canceled plans to throw out the first pitch at the Rangers home opener today in protest of MLB pulling the All-Star game from Georgia. But Abbott may have his own business backlash to contend with. Here is Dell Technologies CEO Michael Dell in a tweet about one of those Texas bills. He says, free, fair, equitable access to voting is the foundation of American democracy. Those rights, especially for women, communities of color, have been hard-earned. Governments should ensure citizens have their voices heard. Here's Dallas-based Southwest Airlines. We believe every voter should have a fair opportunity to let their voice be heard. This right is essential to our nation's success. Still unclear, though, whether any of the dozens of companies speaking out is prepared to back those words with action. So far, the only organization so far taking its business elsewhere, that would be Major League Baseball. Scott, Sarah?
This is really a question of how far do you want to take the fight, and it's to both sides. Scott, right? It's how far do governors want to take the fight, and then how far do corporations actually want to go beyond speaking out, as they have here?
Yeah, and it's really not clear for the corporations, what they're going to win by continuing this fight and actually pulling business. We've seen it happen before in some of these divisive issues. The bathroom bill in North Carolina a few years ago, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act in Indiana, where there actually were companies that moved businesses, moved events. It's not clear that it's going to happen here because there is so much vitriol really on both sides. So we'll see how it goes. And the other issue is this is happening, as I said, in 47 states. So it's not just an isolated incident of Georgia or Texas or anybody else.
Which means that it's blue states and red states, Scott. So how are the laws different or the same than each other? What should we be watching as far as what could cause companies to take a stand?
Well, I mean, we'll have to see what the companies have to say, and we'll have to see what the activists on both sides have to say. We look at the Brennan Center, which is monitoring this, and what they would call restrictive. They would call the Georgia law on balance restrictive because of some of the limits. And similarly, these couple of provisions that have already passed one house or the other in Texas. But it is a little bit in the eye of the beholder. The proponents of these laws say we're actually doing things to codify some of the things that were put into place for the 2020 presidential race. In Georgia, Governor Kemp insists that he's expanding access. Of course, there's a lot of debate about that. And so that's why, from a competitiveness standpoint, we look at this every year with top states for business. It's really a thorny issue and really difficult to try and see how this is going to play out because it's happening in so many places.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.